if you guys have been here for a long time, you know me and Simran, we love to rant. So we are gonna give our opinions on everything and anything that nobody's asked for. But here we go.
Here we go.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Listen Up with Simran and Isha, where we dive into real conversations about life, personal growth, and everything in between. Today, we have an exciting episode lined up for you, so turn up the volume and listen up.
Welcome back to today's episode of Listen Up with Simran and Isha, and today we're talking all about hot takes on pop culture, right? I thought we would do like this girl episode. We are resetting our month, our year this year. So we're in this reset place, and I thought like I wanted to talk about a few things that have happened in recent culture, and I think Isha also wanted to talk about it.
Yes.
So what better way to get on to with some hot takes? What do you think, Isha?
Oh, definitely. I think we were overdue on this live episode, Simran, क्योंकि
Yeah.
anxiety की बात कर ली, resetting की बात कर ली, but then this is the energy that we want to stay in everyday life, right? There's chaos, but then there's also a lot of happening around us. So I think this is what we want to talk about. And if you guys have been here for a long time, you know me and Simran, we love to rant. So we are gonna give our opinions on everything and anything that nobody's asked for. But here we go.
Here we go. Number one hot take coming in is we need to stop romanticizing girl boss burnout. And we're so done with that in 2025.
Oh yes. I think it's long overdue. वो वाली एनर्जी शिफ्ट को भी आए हुए बहुत टाइम हो गया है बिकॉज हसल कल्चर को प्रमोट करने का टाइम चला गया है नाउ आई थिंक कंपार्टमेंटलाइजिंग अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट वर्क्स फॉर एवरीबॉडी एंड सबके लिए अलग अलग चीजें वर्क करती हैं वो वाला एक एरा शुरू हो चुका है बट स्टिल दैट because it's trending, because it was trending in the past, that girl boss, I keep on seeing some content about it again and again, time and again. What about you, Simone?
No, I don't have a problem with being a girl boss. I think it's cool and stuff. I love it. My page is called Brown Boss Babe, so I'm cool with that. But like, I feel like there came a point where only hustle was promoted for women. That means all women need to be starting businesses. All women need to be wearing suits and like looking sharp and like making a lot of money. And that gives you validation, And I feel like that kind of promoted this whole burnout that this entire generation faced. And I think you and I, our 20s, we grew up with this kind of content.
Yes. One hindsight I felt of this hustle culture is that we started keeping ourselves at such a pedestal that we stopped valuing or keeping in mind the value of relationships and companionship that, a relationship brings. Because it was promoting a very individual idea for a girl. Like, a girl has to she has to do everything by herself, so she doesn't need anybody. That was the idea that was being promoted. Exactly. And that's what I grew up with. But once I grew up, 25, and I realized, but I don't believe in this theory for my whole life. It's good to talk about it. It's attractive. Yes, makes me feel good. Gives me that goddess energy. Bring me all the good words. But it's not something that I want to feel the rest of my life. And I think that's where the shift happened for me personally. And maybe, as a society also, I feel like my friends also started getting out of that mindset. Obviously, it's good to be working. It's good to be having that kind of financial setup for yourself where you feel that confidence in yourself.
But like I think it became more than that. It was not just about making the money or having a career. It became about if you're not doing your 100%, if you don't have that dream car, that dream house, that dream villa, that business which makes millions, then you're a failure.
Yes.
Where everybody started living on the extreme of what needs to be done, at least for me, I started living in this space where I was like, you can't take a break. If you take a break, you're not going to be able to achieve XYZ thing.
Yes.
And if you don't do it till you're 30, if you're not on Forbes 30 on 30, if you're not, in this amazing place, then you're a failure. And that's what started becoming like a big thing. And I'm so happy now that this generation is gotten out of it and there's no longer this need to be this hustler and like this girl boss, all the time.
I agree with you. I think a failure वाला idea जुड़ गया था इसके साथ that you will start feeling like a failure if you don't do everything that's on the list. But that's not possible, right? हमारी life के different phases होते हैं. We each enter into different phase at different point in time. और उस हिसाब से आप अपनी life को change करते हो. But उस concept में ये हमारे दिमाग में डाल दिया गया था कि there's only one way to live life. And I think now we are becoming hustle. Yes, exactly that. But I think now we're becoming more aware, and I like that. I think I like that shift. And you and me personally both have been part of this, like very strongly.
Yeah.
And we've discussed about this earlier also, but now I think we've both outgrown that concept, and now it's better, you know. I like it like this. This energy is more,
for sure.
more productive.
Yeah, listen to yourself, listen to your body, and take it one step at a time. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. It's fine.
Yes.
If you're going to be successful at 40 or 50, you're still going to be happy. Like, you know, and happiness is not connected with how successful you are. It's connected with how much you take care of yourself, how fulfilled you feel, you know, which was stuff which I didn't know, or now we know. So, you know, I'm happy about that for sure. Which brings me to the next hot take, which is there was this whole trend on social media about the clean girl aesthetic and how you need to have the clean girl look. And I'm so happy that we're kind of done with that and we're moving into this messy girl space. Because
I've started seeing that shit.
Yes. I've never been a clean girl aesthetic. Look at me, I have curly hair. I have a big face. I have never been somebody who was into that because I felt like it was this perfect persona of a person that you had to be, you know.
Yes.
Do all these 10,000 self-care routines and like, you know, have like 10,000 gels on your face.
You remember
and
glass
like,
skin was a big thing, like you have, everybody needs to have glass skin.
Still is kind of.
Yeah, like,
Exactly.
of course you can do remedies and everything. I mean, you should take care of your skin, but then it became a thing that if you don't have glass skin, your skin is not healthy. Like that's not the only type of skin. Yeah, I know. I remember that time. It was very like my sister was in the zone that Didi, we need to try this, because glass skin is very important. Our nose is not shining, our cheeks are not shining, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, cool, calm down. Like it's fine. You know, I also feel like the clean girl aesthetic didn't really like kind of take into consideration all the other factors in the sense that like it was very like a white woman aesthetic. Like it's like if you grow up Hispanic or black or Indian or whatever, like our features are not clean. We have curly hair, we have, you know, something which is more
we do have a lot going on.
We have a lot going on, let's just say that. Like, I'm a Punjabi woman, okay? Like, that means I have a lot of hair on my body. Like, that's what it means. And I have to do a lot to take care of that, you know?
Yes.
So I feel like I'm really happy that we kind of, like, dissociated from that perfect look.
And I think it went away
have,
quickly
like,
also.
messy hair now.
Thing for a while. It was like a thing. But very quickly, girls were able to, you know, segregate. But obviously, in my opinion, it taught me a lot of new things. Because the clean girl era was going on and that phase was on Instagram. So you learn a lot of tricks to take care of your body. Yeah. Of course, there's that. Yeah. But then you also need to understand what you can carry forward for the rest of your life and what's just a phase for you. मतलब तुम इतना कुछ रोज नहीं कर सकते हो, वरना और कुछ तुम करोगे ही नहीं.
You can't have a life if you have like a 10-step morning routine and like a 30-step, you know, night routine, and then in between of that you have 10 steps of life routines. And I'm just like, if you're just doing routines all the time, when are you actually going to the work, job, and having a life? Like, you know, I think like I love self-development. I love women who create content for other women to level up their lives. I consume it. We created together. I just can't handle when somebody's preaching a perfect aesthetic of life. Yes. You know? I'm talking like a 5 a.m. routine and like, you know, by 8 o'clock you're like in the thrive of life. Then you're at work at 9. Then you're like all day working. Then you come home, do the dishes, you make everything, you make food, you're like cooking and then at night you do like this 10-step night routine and then you're going to bed like an angel. And I'm like, nobody's life is that perfect. Right. So we need to like stop like, you know, also like getting into this thing where you need to have a perfect routine to be
like
that
everything
girl.
Needs to be placed. Like you cannot live by the clock, by the minute. It's good to have routine in places, but authentic, मतलब जो possible हो, जो long time sustain कर पाओ, वैसे routines. Not this 5 to 9 before 9 to 5 and then a 5 to 9 after that. Like that's not sustainable. Like how will you live?
And you don't want to live a life like that. Do you want to live in just routines all your life and have that perfect aesthetic of everything? You're not going to have a perfect this. Some days, you know, my room looks like a mess and that's fine. I accept it for what it is. And that's why it makes me happier and a better person, you know?
Simran, yaar, हमारे ना ये गलती कह लो social media की या ये कह लो कि like this is the biggest con of this की if I'm having a good day, that's only when I'll post about it. If I'm having the cleanest room and everything is all good and aesthetic, then only I'll click a picture. But the other days, the 6 days around it, I will not click a picture and post. So the person who's watching me and following me will think she's always like this. It's the biggest con, and subconsciously our mind is not able to wire the whole story because वो back end पे हो रहा है. Mind को वो दिख ही नहीं रहा, वो visually attract हो रहा है और वो वहीं पर attract हो जाता है कि अरे यार this is possible. And then you start following it and doing it, and then you feel the burnout and you start criticizing yourself कि मुझसे नहीं हो रहा, which is where it gets wrong. कि आपने assume कर लिया and then बाद में criticism शुरू कर दिया कि मुझसे नहीं हो रहा. But actually the whole story is everybody is messy like that. We as Indian women, we have so many problems going on a daily basis. If you're looking presentable, that's a task. We've accomplished that.
I know, and like I think people don't consider that. Like there are so many other things that they also have to take care of. There's eyebrows, there's things like so many other things. I realized. I remember when I was studying in uni in Milan, like none of my friends who were from other cultures ever waxed their hands or shaved their hands. And in India, it's a very normal thing for women to, wax or shave or, their hands.
Yeah.
Because for us, it's like if I know I start feeling ugly the minute I have hair on my body. And like it's such a big thing that's in our conditioning that if you have hair on your body, you're ugly, And whereas I saw other women from other cultures having hair on their bodies and they were like fine, they never touched their arm hair. And I was just like, for me, it was weird for them that I used to, shave my hands. So it's so funny that culturally, how they looked at it and how we looked at things.
Yes. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's very interesting because they're taking it easy. They're accepting the body, and then we've been taught that if one thing is out of place, you're not beautiful. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Very
true. Very true. Like sometimes my brother would make fun of me if I'm not waxed my legs or something. He'll be like, "Oh, you have like a jungle."
My younger brother will notice.
I don't.
He'll start pointing out.
And I'm like, why do you give a shit? But they'll always and obviously to joke on you and prank on you how brothers are. But I'm just like, that's none of your business. And even if it is, it doesn't make me ugly,
Yeah.
But that's how the conditioning is in our culture.
Exactly. I know.
So, which brings me to our third hot take, which is something we were talking about. I love Bridgerton, okay? I love watching Bridgerton. It's my favorite series. I think if you're a woman and you have a heart, you love Bridgerton. And come on, it's all this thing, you want to be wooed and all of those things. And
okay, I have a question before you say the hot take.
Yeah.
Which was your favorite season so far?
Season 1.
Season 1? Okay.
I know that you would say season 2.
Yeah.
Minus season 1.
Okay. Minus season 2.
Even though, obviously, I'm biased to the season 2 because I'm Indian, so I'm biased to it. I really love season 2. But I think season 1 is where I fell in love with the idea of Bridgerton. Whereas, season 2 was it was just the cherry on top, basically, because I'm like, damn, now you entered our territory. I'm hearing Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham orchestra playing in an English series with white people. I was the happiest person on earth, right? Because you feel so seen and represented when you're seeing these scenes, especially the haldi on her hands, but when she's going for the wedding. The way they inculcated so many Indian experiences into the series, which is about set in old London, which obviously is hypothetical, but the way that they did it was so beautiful, and I feel a nice way to honor the culture as well. So
definitely. What's the hot take then?
But the hot take is that when I saw Kate Sharma, which is Simone Ashley on screen, the first thing I was like, oh my god, she's so beautiful. She is a beautiful Indian woman. And she was playing main character with a white man, right? And I was just like, and obviously let's not even get to Anthony because, I fangirl him. But, but the thing is that I know for a fact, a woman like her will not be casted as the main lead in my country, which is India. Because when I am even though I'm Indian and she's Indian and I'm seeing her on screen in a global series, if I have to go go back to my country, I will never see somebody of her complexion, unfortunately, as the main lead.
Yeah,
And that's
I
the
know.
hot take because
Yeah.
it's the truth.
It's yeah,
In
not
our
in our
country,
culture.
it's so sad. It's so sad because they obviously love our skin, embrace it, and that's why I love showing our skin and where we come from, to the world. But we ourselves have so much issues with our color of our skin. And I feel like we are more racist to ourselves than like them,
Yes.
because a woman like her would not be selected for a main role.
She would not.
I have not
Not
seen
in
a
India,
woman like her
definitely.
on screen.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree with you. When I saw her, my first reaction to it was, I was just happy to see that a white man could be enamored by a woman of this color, because that idea, that concept was so
Can you
foreign.
imagine?
Yeah, like, and he was enamored the way like the scenes were shot and everything. Like, that guy could not resist that woman. And the idea that clicked with me and sat with me for a long time was that they see beauty for beauty, and that's it. Indian facial features are so beautiful. We genuinely have one of the most beautiful facial features, and I feel lucky to be, having those features for myself as well. And like we talked about this in one of the episodes also, that I've been told a lot about my color over the years, and not in the best way possible. Let's put it that way. And I've been told that you have to change a lot about it. But it's not in my hand. Again, it's not in my hand. And when I see Simone,
And think about it for a second. Think about it for a second, because Simone is not even the same complexion as you. Like, she's even darker.
Yeah.
But like, nobody would ever tell her that in this country.
No.
Ever.
Ever. Because, and she's like
obviously
a goddess,
issues
true
everywhere,
goddess.
but
Oh yeah, like, and she looks so, like, I don't know, she gives me that confidence to carry myself in my skin. And first time when I saw her, till this day, I always followed her after that, after her Bridgerton journey also. I've followed her, and I see, like, when she comes on the carpets, when she's wearing those dresses, she's such a queen. Like, that's the energy that I feel about her, and she's so confident about it. And मुझे लगता है कि why is she so confident? Because she's surrounded by people who never tell her that there's a problem there. And I think that makes a huge shift.
Yeah, and exactly. Now, of course, I don't personally know her childhood. I don't know what she was doing when she was growing up as a kid. But I know for a fact, like, when she was casted to now, she's always been told that she's so beautiful. And she's been loved for the complexion she has. Whereas I think we have so much catching up to do, because we still, like, you and I are not even probably the darkest in Indian complexion, but we still have suffered with, being told that we're not, good looking enough or beautiful enough, just because we're not fair enough as per the standards of society, And I feel like it will be a game changer the day India starts having actresses like that, because that's when, we will really start embracing our beauty.
जितना भी बोलो सिमरन, हमारा standard of beauty हमारे लिए Bollywood ही set करता है. And if they start casting women who look like Simone in our country as well, I think that image will start shifting, because it has to be a generational change. It doesn't have, because my parents, the generation before them, they all come up with this idea that fair is pretty. Fair is pretty. Like, that's I don't know, it's the link in their head, but not to me. Not to me, and not because I am not fair, but just because I see beauty in every person. Like, I see beauty for beauty.
And beauty is regardless of the complexion. A fair person is also beautiful, so is a dark person. It's not that you need to set them in a barrel and, like, kind of compare them. There's no need to do that, And I absolutely agree. It starts with our country, it starts with our culture, it starts with our Bollywood is a big part of our culture. And if we don't, like, the only time probably I've seen is like Bipasha Basu is probably close, I would say.
Kajol in the
Radhika Apte.
Yeah, in the build.
Kajol in the younger days. But even when those women were casted, they were not casted with their colors. They were always casted to make them look a little bit more fair. And a little bit. The foundations were always, the makeup foundation was always not. It was not done in a way where it was embracing the woman's color. It was done in a way that, like, make them look a little fair. And that's how it'll be beautiful. So even, like, if you see Priyanka Chopra or Bipasha Basu in the olden, like 10 years ago in the movies and Bollywood, they've always casted, but they would have like makeup which made them look a little bit more fair,
Fair,
you know?
yes.
Which is sad because like they are beautiful women as they are, you know, and they don't need the changing. And now the only one I can think of is Radhika Apte. That's the only one I can
Yeah.
say who's close.
Close.
But again, she's not like a main lead ever. She's never like a main, you know, actress. I think like as she is a theatre personality, so of course like she does it her way. But I feel like when we start changing, like you said, that's when like the beauty standards will start
Oh
changing.
yeah. I think it starts there. It starts with the media that, you know, and they have to
Yeah.
change the mindset for themselves first, and then showcase it, and then maybe a change will come forthcoming. This will not be a conversation. I mean, imagine a day when this was never a conversation. I would love to live a world like that where color is not a conversation at all. It's just
Very true.
okay. It's just you and that person. There's no color difference there. I would love to live in a world like that. Wow, that
I enjoyed this conversation. Yeah,
Really.
I think it was so cool, right? Like today we had some different things. I found out so much about you, and I'm sure vice versa.
Yes, definitely. And I think I figured out one thing, and I knew that already. We both still love to talk very
Yeah.
much. Very, very much. Yes.
And we like that our audience likes that.
Yeah. Of course. Thank you so much, guys, for listening to the episodes and supporting us on this journey. And keep listening. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Listen Up with Simran and Isha. Hope you enjoyed the conversation and make sure to like and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay tuned and listen up.